So dear children, let's start our literary sources now. Literary sources include all kinds of literature, long and short, written or oral. So literary sources are long or short or written or oral, all are included in literary sources. The most ancient form of writing was cuneiform, wedge-shaped marks made on clay tablets. So cuneiform was the first script written by humans, and it was written on clay tablets. Therefore humans developed different types of scripts. So we can also see the meaning of cuneiform downside. Cuneiform means relating to a writing system used in ancient times in the Middle East, letters of which are long and thin and wide at one end and narrow at the other. So this is known as cuneiform, that is long and thin letters which is wide from on one end and narrow at the other. First point is people recorded events and memories by hand. At that time there was no printing press, so people had to write all the things with the hand. So all these things, handwritten records are known as manuscript. As it was written by hand, it was known as manuscript. They were written on rocks, parchments, palm leaves, bark of birch trees, clay tablets, and later on paper. So I have told you that in previous video also that earlier people had written all these things on palm leaves, bark of birch tree. I have told you about the bark. What is a bark? The upper layer of the trunk of a tree. So there was a special tree known as birch tree. They used this tree's bark to write on that, and also on the clay tablets, that is tablets which are made up of clay, and after so many years on paper. The other forms of literary sources available to historians are books, religious texts, accounts of foreign travelers, and biographies. So we all know books, simple books many people have written, and religious texts also, that is related to our religion, like Bible or Quran or Gita. So, and accounts of foreign travelers, like any traveler came to India and they have whatever they saw here, they wrote in one book, that is known as foreign travelers. Like Faxian also had written. A Chinese traveler was there, Faxian, and he came to India and he noticed so many things, so he wrote a book about that, that is known as account of foreign travelers. And some biographies of great kings, like we are having biographies of so many Mughal emperors and other emperors like Maharana Pratap, and great warriors also we have seen in movies also. They are known as biographies. Even oral history is considered as a record. Literary sources are of two types, religious and secular. Literary sources are of two types, that is religious literature and secular. Secular we will see in the next topic. First we will see religious literature. The writings which are religious in context and theme are termed as religious literature. So see, the writings which are religious in context and theme are termed as religious literature. They may be classified into the following, like Vedic literature, which comprises the four Vedas, Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajur Ved, and Atharva Ved. So these are known as Vedic literature. There are four Vedas, Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajur Ved, and Atharva Ved. The two epics. What are the two epics? We all know about this. The Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and the Bhagavad Gita and the Puranas. These are all two or epics. Next we have to see secular literature. Books or texts that are not of a religious nature are known as secular literature. So the books which are not of religious literature are known as secular literature. For example, books such as Kautilya's Arthashastra contain guidelines on how to run a government. A number of foreign travelers, Greek, Romans, Chinese, Tibetans, and Arabs, visited India from time to time and left valuable accounts about the people, their lifestyles, customs, and traditions. So, I have told you about the foreign travelers. So, many foreign travelers came to India and wrote about our Indian culture or anything. Greeks, Romans, Chinese, Tibetans, and Arabs. They visited India from time to time and left valuable accounts. Accounts means written books or anything about the people, their lifestyles, customs, and traditions. Next is Megasthenes, the Greek ambassador to the court of Chandragupta Maurya, wrote the Indica. So Megasthenes was a Greek ambassador and he was in the court of Chandragupta Maurya and he wrote a book known as Indica. So he wrote about Chandragupta Maurya's empire and his way of ruling the empire and everything in Indica.